Hello, I'm glad you could join me. Today we're going to be looking at 12 signs that you may have cleared a karmic cycle. Karma can clear slowly and quietly when we've been attempting to address and resolve our issues over many years. If you've been feeling different recently, it could be that from your continuous healing and growth, you may have cleared enough karmic debt to up-level your frequency and finally be living in a better timeline. So the first sign that you might have up-leveled is that you can revisit places that previously caused you emotional heaviness. Places like a favorite restaurant that you used to go to with an ex, a favorite song you shared, or looking at photos of your family or the family home. The energy that once suffocated you around these people and situations and places is gone. You're not acting and pushing down the pain. You've genuinely released it. 2. Physical pain that you've lived with for years is gone. It could be a chronic lower back pain or knee pain, and suddenly you feel a lot better. The negative energy that has been stored in that part of the body is allowed to release now that you've addressed that specific problem. Your body knows that you've dealt with that situation and those repressed emotions. So it knows that you no longer need to hold on to that pain in order to be motivated to learn. 3, you stop cravings and your addictions start to dissolve. Whether it be food, social media, alcohol, gaming, your soul has released the original issue and you no longer need to try and fill yourself with these external activities. Before I healed the issue of being abused by my family, I used to crave food almost every minute of every day. But now that I've finally resolved those issues, I find that my cravings for food are diminishing and I'm starting to be able to eat like a healthy person after decades of overeating. 4, you can wish people well who you used to resent, not out of obligation or because you think you should, but because you've genuinely moved on. You have raised your vibration, and the emotional grip they used to have over you has dissolved. You don't deny or sugarcoat what happened. It's just that you no longer carry an attachment to those people, so you can wish them well and let them go. You're able to set yourself free from them. 5, you no longer obsess over family drama. You think about the family drama far less often, and you're not triggered when you do think about it. You also don't feel chained to your family role anymore because you've healed and expanded your awareness, and you're able to now energetically explore who you really are. Even if your family members haven't changed, you've changed. And so you've loosened those family ties. Sign 6, your hidden talents start to emerge. Suddenly, you find yourself creating, singing, channeling. Your inner gifts that have been silenced for years suddenly arise because there's nothing holding them back. For years, my voice was silenced from family abuse. When I was 16, I stopped talking altogether for a year. But in the last 6 years, I've started exploring public speaking and singing, which I stopped doing totally for many years, and I was actually really terrified of doing in public. I started doing karaoke regularly, and I actually became a good singer, and I joined a public speaking group, developed my skill, and got rid of my fear. And I'm still practicing that, doing these YouTube posts. 7, you feel gratitude for everything in your life, even the difficulties. You stop wishing that things had been different and regretting the past. You can see that the difficulties and challenges that you faced motivated you to evolve and gain greater understanding. So you look at what you've experienced and what you have now and express gratitude for them. 8. Bliss appears out of nowhere. You spontaneously start to feel happiness and joy. You could find yourself singing or dancing, even if you're by yourself. You may have not done these things for years. You also go towards what makes you happy rather than what makes you sad or distressed. You're following your bliss, as Joseph Campbell calls it. That is, going towards things that you really yearn to do, things that you may have felt you weren't allowed to do before. You now allow yourself permission to do these things. Closure comes in your dreams. You may dream of past partners, enemies, or version of yourselves. They're turning up in your dreams, but they no longer cause you fear or anxiety or negative emotions. You interact with these people calmly and assertively, which shows that the door has gently closed on your previous battles and negative relationships. Your intuition starts to become stronger. You may notice when divine signs and oracles show up. Good luck symbols such as crickets and dragonflies and butterflies show up in your everyday life and you notice them more. A few years ago, I started to notice birds would land on the railing of my veranda and sing, which was a really beautiful symbol that my soul was becoming lighter. Also, you can notice when you're being warned about things. If you get a negative feeling or the hairs stand up in the back of your neck, you start to notice these things more and act on them. You're more connected with the divine intelligence. And finally, your life stops feeling like a battleground. Challenges still arise, but you deal with them more skillfully and effortlessly. You can breathe through difficult circumstances and stay calm while you consciously respond instead of unconsciously reacting. Your life starts to become more enjoyable and you feel like you're in the universal flow of life rather than fighting against it. You handle these ongoing tests with newfound grace. Now you're no longer just surviving, but you can consciously steer your own path in life. Karma isn't a punishment, it's a cycle of learning and growth that arises from your past intentions and actions, whether that be from this life or previous lives. If you've experienced more than half of these signs, it probably means that you've successfully faced and completed a karmic cycle. Now you'll be able to return to being your true self, discovering what that true self is, free from the layers of pain and difficulty that karmic debts can bring. You no longer need to re experience these old lessons again and again because you've learned them and you've gained wisdom and understanding from that learning process. You're filled with your divine essence and you're consciously connected to it and you're living it. So I hope this has been interesting and helpful today. Wherever you are in the world, I wish you love and courage on your journey. Thank you for listening. Take care and bye for now.